Hello, everyone. We're in week 13 now, so the end is in sight. It's almost over. So keep on doing the good work that you're doing, and I look forward to seeing what you turn out this week. So this week, I'd like for you to read chapter 13 of Phoners Give Me Liberty. And this is going to set out a couple different things. First off, it's going to talk about how the United States gains the territory that we have today. Uh, you'll see from the outcome of the Mexican-American War of how the United States gains the entire continental area between the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. But then it's going to also talk about sectionalism and the beginnings of what's going to be the Civil War when the South breaks away from the North. So you're going to want to be paying specific attention to the reasons for sectionalism, the sort of growing problems caused by slavery between the North and the South over the Western territories. Remember, now that they have this Western territory, they have to figure out, is this going to be slave land or non-slave land? And so that's going to cause significant issues of the 1840s and the 1850s. I have two lectures from Dr. Blight that I'd like you to look at, and they're both very good ones. The first one is going to talk about the Mexican-American War and the aftermath, but it's also going to talk about this Compromise of 1850, which for the Congress at the time they believe is going to take care of the significant issues that they're having. What ends up happening is it takes care of it for a short time, but not really anything specifically to prevent what's going to happen in the Civil War. The second one sort of puts together three pretty significant problems. The first one is the Dred Scott decision, the Supreme Court decision. And I'm going to let Dr. Blight talk to you about that. But most historians, a lot of historians, consider the decision made in the Dred Scott case to be the worst Supreme Court decision ever. And I think you'll find out a little bit when Dr. Blight explains it to you. But the way that the Supreme Court handles Dred Scott, many historians have come to just be sort of continued to be appalled by it. Bleeding Kansas has to do about what's known as popular sovereignty, so you'll want to really be paying attention to that. For this week's discussion, I have you answering these two questions based off of the Lincoln-Douglas debates. So you read the Lincoln-Douglas debates in the Voices of Freedom section of Chapter 13, and then you pick one of these questions and you create your discussion post for that question. And then the last part, there will be the Week 10 quiz opening Wednesday at noon. And then there is your second writing assignment. I talked about this last week, but by now you should have read Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl. And I'd like you to write a 1,300-word essay describing agency, and specifically agency of 19th century Southern slaves. So where is their power? Maybe they don't have power, but maybe they're able to sort of express power in different ways. And so I'd like you to think about the ways that Linda is able to have power in Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl. And think about how she's able to sort of try to have some sort of control. And she's not the only person, she's not the only slave in that book who's able to try to take control of her life or just push back against slavery. So that's what I want you thinking about. I had a couple mistakes in the last assignment that I submitted, so I corrected this one. Some of you talked to me about the fact that the former paper said that you had to bring a hard copy to class. You do not have to do that. You're just submitting it on Banco Hall. I would make an extra plug again to do the extra credit assignment, make it an appointment with the Writing Center, and have your paper edited. All you need to do, see, I made this mistake again. Just have the staff member who works with you email me to tell me that they proofread your paper. They've done this before. They know me, and this the extra credit I provide. So you just got to tell them to email me, and I will add the 5 points to your paper. So the paper is due this Friday by midnight, so please make sure that is turned in. So I think this week everything's pretty cut and dry for what I'm looking for. So just please make sure those writing assignments are ready to be submitted by Friday. And I look forward to seeing what you have for me online tonight, this week. Take care.